Good afternoon, I'm Ginger MK, and today we're going to do a little bit of talk about day hikes. Now, as I do my prep videos, I try to keep things focused on realistic emergency prep. And normally it's focused on what to have prepped in case of natural disasters. Next thing I think of as a likely time where you may have to deal with emergency issues is, day hiking through nature or overnight camping. Basically when you have less modern resources and conveniences and paved roads and infrastructure around you, and sometimes you're more at nature's mercy, especially after a bad fall, a tumble down a hill, or just plain you got lost. So the first thing you actually kind of need if you're just doing day hiking in the summer is just a haversack. Not my 72-hour emergency go bag for disasters. We don't need 30 something pounds of things. We just need a good, over the shoulder bag to hold stuff. And we're keeping it light. We want to be less than 10 pounds. I think preferably less than 8 is good. And so a lot of things have to be kind of unitaskers, and you also have to fill in some of the blanks with your everyday carry. Things like, having a multi-tool and having a cell phone communication. That is one of your signaling devices. So we think in terms of fire, water, food, shelter, then first aid, and a cutting tool, and signaling. Now, just because it's the biggest bag in there, and it's the first one I pulled out, because we want to keep things organized and separated so it's easy to find, we'll go with shelter items. Shelter covers not just having like a tent, but it's, Dave Canterbury goes with what's over you, what's under you, and what's on you. Having bug repellent a lot of times is important. Having a floppy hat. Having a mosquito net that goes over your floppy hat. That's all sheltering items. Since this is summertime and we're not crazy worried about, hypothermia, I've got two 55-gallon can liners just held together with rubber bands right there. So they're good for gathering materials. You can fill one with debris to make a bed for cushioning and keep you off the ground. You could use one as a poncho or raincoat if you really had to. You can use one to set up a temporary tarp lean-to. Also in there is cordage. I've got a little bit of microcord and standard paracord. For illumination, I just have two glow sticks. They're multitaskers though. They function as emergency signaling devices at night. You can wave it, put it on a string and swing it around to try to catch the attention of, searchers, whatever. And I also have a small plastic garbage bag to, if I had to, everything I've got I can wrap that small garbage bag around my haversack to keep the whole thing from getting soaked, or I could use that to carry more materials. Alright, so that is my shelter bag. Let's see, the next one I want to pull out is the first aid kit, which is not even a first aid kit properly, but it's fine. It's just a day hike. So mostly band-aids, a little bit of gauze and tape, sunblock, that's important. Ibuprofen painkillers. There's also Voltaren because I'm old. Blistex, lip balm. That's also a multitasker. Put a bit of that, mash it into some gauze, and you have an extended fire starter. For that matter, on the outside of my bag, a hand sanitizer. You can light that on fire directly, squirt a little bit and light it, or soak it into a small piece of gauze and you have an extended flame source. So even the hand sanitizer and lip balm are multitaskers. Let's see. I've got my fire kit. We're not doing anything fancy with ferro rods, flint and steel. We're definitely not trying to deal with fire boards for, day hiking. It's just matches, a lighter with some duct tape, 2 citronella candles, and 1 12-hour candle. The duct tape can be used as a repair item for shelters, as well as a flame extender, tinder material, trying to start a fire in wet conditions. Oh, I forgot to mention with the first aid kit, I've also got a tick key to remove ticks. It's really a useful thing to have. Now, in theme with fire, water, food, shelter, this is the water one. Now, you're going to put a bottle or two of water in your bag before you go, but if an emergency happens, we've got the Red Cross version of a life straw. It can screw onto most standard commercial water bottles, and this provides a filter. The Red Cross says this filters out 99.99999% of microbial life forms. That would be the FDA standard for sterilized, not just sanitized. So that's pretty damn good. Came with instructions, and just in case, I've also got water purification tablets and neutralizer tablets. But preferably you don't want to have to drink scuzz water with just that. This will help you out immensely. Now, for food, you should also put a couple of granola bars and trail mix as a snack in your haversack. But just in case, in my tool bag, I've got a small fishing kit I just made out of an old prescription pill bottle, and it's got lures, bobbers, weights, spoons, hooks, pretty much everything you need. Also in the tool bag, I got a compass to go with the map you should be bringing. This variety also has a magnifying glass, making it a multitasker. That is good for fire starting when you have sun. And I've also got a mirror on it that I can use as a signal mirror. So you shine the sun's light at possible aircraft or rescuers or whatever. So remember, we're not soldiers here. I was Coast Guard, so I think in terms of I've been the person doing search and rescue, and as someone who does search and rescue, they want you to be as visible and as loud as possible. So we're not doing camouflage or hiding. We're not doing tactical nothing. We're doing bright colors and loud with our signaling. So we've also got a whistle. I've got some contractor's marker tape that I wrapped around a spool so I don't have to have an entire 500-foot roll of that. And I can use that to mark trees where I've passed so I can find my way back to a path. And there we go. Bandana. You can use that to wipe the sweat off your face. You can use this as a flag, as a signal to catch people's attention. It's a bright red color. And if you're forced to drink scuzz water, you can use this as a sort of strainer. Put it over the mouth of a water bottle. Use one of those rubber bands from the other kit to hold it in place and just let the water enter the bottle through the cloth. This is not a filter, but it will take a lot of the crud out. It'll take the big chunkies out. We got more duct tape in there for more repair items and fire starter. And then finally we have our proper cutting tool, not just from our multi-tool. Since I'm only going to have 2 knives and we're going small, I'm going with a full tang. This is an Odin Wolf knife. I went with the Scandi Grind version. Keep it nice and sharp, has its own sheath that snaps in place nice and tight. And I've got a sharpener. It's got a fine and a coarse side. And I added a strop. You don't have to have a strop, but you should have at least a two-sided pocket sharpening stone and learn how to use it. The nice thing about having a Scandi Grind knife is dealing with a pocket stone, this is the easiest blade to keep a consistent angle on while sharpening, because you just lay it flat against the bevel of that Scandi Grind. So there you go. Last thing you may want to consider, but that's all the basics. Remember that trash bag I had? You can also have old plastic grocery bags or whatever. And when I say they're good for foraging for materials, I mean it. These cattails. That's an excellent natural fire starter. It burns a little bit too fast to be, you know, the best of the best. But it'll get you there in a pinch. It will give you a decent fire if you need it. Alright, so, like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments, and have a great day.